Allegedly, this is the calm after the storm, but I'll believe that when I see it, because we've still got 40, 50 mile an hour winds this afternoon. But I thought with all the hullabaloo around here recently, with the storms and the wind and the damage and stuff, we'd just take a moment. We'll have a wee wander around the plot, bit of a plot tour. We've not done that for a while. And there's a couple of extra things in it. I would like a little bit of advice from you guys out there. I've got a bit of an idea for a new project that I want to do, and I wouldn't mind hearing people's thoughts about where they think I should put it. So I'll come to that in a little bit. The other thing is, once I've gone around my plot, I was chatting to one of my plot neighbours before, Malcolm, top guy, brilliant bloke, and apparently the bit of the allotments I didn't cover in the video post-storm the other day, or during the storm the other day, apparently there's some nasty damage up there. So I think right at the end, once we've scooted around here, we'll have a walk over there and we'll see if we can see what's been going on. So let me get set up here, we'll have a look around, and then we'll scoot off over there. So as always, we'll start off up at the top of the plot here, and we've got the raspberries over here. Not much going on at this time of year, and a couple of apple trees that we put in last year. Been slowly, admittedly slowly, trying to take out the dead raspberry stalks, taking them out. There's a lot of grass grows in there. You probably see the dead grass, and there's a lot of grass grows in there over the summer. Again, perfect time for me to get in and about there, get it out. And we've got these 3 raised beds here, the pallet colours. I'm sure I put these in, was it last year I put them in? They were a little bit of a disaster. We had some really rubbish courgettes up that end, and we had some stuff that was eaten by rabbits at this end. So that didn't work out too well, but I've got a bit of a plan for them this year. They've all been looked after over the winter. They've got covers on them. They've got lovely compost in them, so we'll get a bit of a plan together, get some decent stuff growing in there, and hopefully they'll turn out all right. And moving swiftly on, we've got the rhubarb bed, and you can see that they're just starting to come up. It's just starting to poke its heads up. I was a little bit worried. You know, rhubarb is really, really hardy. I was a little bit worried, though, that it poked its head up a bit early, because we had the big freeze just a couple of weeks ago. We had the freeze there, and we're down to about -7, -8 sort of temperatures, but it seems to have done all right. It's survived, it's doing all right. We'll just lean back and have a bit of a look down there. It all seems to be in one piece. No frost damage to it. Needs a little bit of tidying up down the far end there. There's some grass and things starting to grow. I need to sort all that area out down there, to be honest. But if we swivel around, let's go around in a circle and see what we've got over this side. Again, a couple of palette colour raised beds. First one is in decent nick, because that's one that I moved just the other week. One over there, weeds, needs tidying up, bit of a mess. And we've got the big bed at the back here. Lots of people saying to me, why don't you cut that in half? Why don't you make it into 2 separate beds? I do have a bit of a plan for it. Let's just have a quick look inside of it. I'm slowly raising the level in there. There's different stuff in there. That's pretty much dead comfrey and dead rhubarb that you can see on the top there. But it is slowly starting to raise the level, and I've got some other ideas about how it can fill up with different things, and like over the next few years that'll break down and it'll become a really nice, lovely space. Now this part of the plot here is one of the parts I wanted to have a chat to you about. Now you can see we've got the palette colours over here, we've got the rhubarb over there, that's where we just were. But what I want to do in this sort of area here, in this space, I want to build a pumpkin arch. So I'm thinking about 2 metal arches, join them together, but we need some sort of earth, some sort of soil, compost, whatever, underneath them to get the pumpkins grown up over the tops. Now, the 2 choices I've got, this palette colour raised bed here, it's got nothing in it at the moment. We bring it up to the edge of the path. We put another one in here to mirror it, and we have the arches coming up here. Pumpkins grow in the palette colours, come up over the arch, job's a good one. Or this bed here, that I just used for potatoes last year in the ground, and I'm thinking about just doing potatoes in buckets this year. So we get 2 new palette colours. I've got one over there already, and I've got one in the garden at home I can use. We put one here, and one here, and then we have the archway here in the middle, and it grows up over there. What do you think? Do you think I should have it here, over the central path, so when you're walking along the path, you've got a beautiful archway of pumpkins? Or do we have it here to the side and we grow the pumpkins up there? One important thing, and let me get my phone out for this. One important thing to show you is perhaps where we are in terms of directions. So if we come up, hopefully you can see that there. So north is kind of over that way behind us. So we've got north over here, we've got south over here, and obviously we've got west this way. and east this way. So in terms of the sun, I mean, we're a pretty open site, but I want to make sure that we're not going to block sunshine from other stuff. So we're going to have other crops. The asparagus is going to be over here. That's the asparagus bed. The rhubarb's going to be here, big massive leaves taking loads of sun. If I put the archway here with the pumpkins, is it going to block the rhubarb? Is it going to block the strawberries? Is it going to block whatever I put here? But if I put it here, just thinking through it now, I think this might be the better option, because in terms of what it's going to block light-wise and where the sun moves around here, different objects around and about, I think this bed here, where we had the potatoes in, is possibly going to be the better option. But we'll see. Please let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Should we have it here? Should we have it here? Let me know. So moving on just a little bit, we've got a bit of damage over here, but it's not bad damage. It's not permanent damage. You can see here the pea and the bean frames have sort of been battered by the wind a little bit. And I've mentioned this on a video before. Look at this black plastic sort of mesh that I've been using. Honestly, the mesh is too fine, and the wind grabs hold of it and pushes the frames over. And it's done that before, and I've got a plan to fix it again this year. I'm going to use a different type of mesh to fix that, but it looks a bit trashed, the frame, but don't worry, it's just sort of joints that click together, not damaged, just needs pushing back together. Same with this one. This one's gone a little bit wonky, it's leaning over to the one side, it just needs pulled back this way and pushed into the ground a little bit more. It is not too bad. So moving on, we've got the new double height pallet collar raised bed for carrots that we put in there. Late last year we put some Autumn King 2 in there. I'll show you what they're like in a different video. They're not the best, but I tried. We've got a covered up bed here. This is where the disastrous parsnip experiment earlier in the year, it was terrible. We'll maybe try that again this year though. We'll see. And I've just skipped past a couple of beds there because there's nothing in them. They're just covered up for overwinter. In this bed here, we've got some cauliflowers and we've got some Swedes. They're not doing much at the moment. They're just the weather's been freezing cold. They're surviving. They're looking healthy. They're looking all right. The slugs have had a bit of a go at them because there's nothing else really around here for them to eat at the moment. This is the only things that I've got out here, but I've been putting out some of those new slug pellets, the ones that aren't poisonous to hedgehogs and things like that. Some of the new ones just to try and keep on top of them, because especially down the far end there, they were taking a real battering. These beds over here, the two pallet collars are, hopefully you can see the far corner, they've all been mulched, they've been fed, they've been covered, ready for things to go in the springtime. Same with the big bed, I've started mulching that, not quite finished with it yet. I love that bed, that big metal bed there. Oh, I love it, it's fantastic. It's a great piece of kit, but there's nothing in it at the moment, so it's a bit dull. Let's head inside the polytunnel for you to see what's going on in there. Now you might be thinking, it looks like a bit of a mess in here, and that's because it is. Over the winter, because there's rules on sites, there's rules on every site, we're only allowed a 6x4 shed. It's not a very big shed. So over the winter, when I've got loads of different projects on the go, different things going on, the polytunnel kind of becomes a de facto storage area, primarily for a big mountain of cardboard that I'm going to use to put in a new bed, suppress weeds, all that sort of stuff. I've got a new fence post over here that you can't see it, but it's been painted and it's propped up. Good news, by the way, I'm fixing the fence Monday. Monday is the day the fence has been getting fixed. I've got a whole story to tell about that, but I'll come to that in a video next week. And apart from that, everything's just been getting taken care of. You know, the odd weed that pops up from the beds, and there's just stuff everywhere. Honestly, what a mess. But it'll just be a mess. Just another month or two, it'll be a mess. But come the springtime, it'll all be starting to get set up in here and looking absolutely spot on. And back outside into the wind, but I've spun the camera around because there's actually some pretty interesting things to show you out here. So coming along here, this is the garlic that we planted out at the sort of tail end of last year. That's looking really, really healthy. Come through all the storms, all the bad weather, all the rats and rabbits and all sorts of stuff, and it's looking pretty good. A bit of a messy bed here, needs sorting out. We've got some Brussels sprouts still to pick at the back here. Look at this, they're looking good. They need picking those soon, or they're going to go a bit wonky. This bed has taken a little bit of a battering. You can see here the corner's all damaged, it's all split. I've got some nice new little metal brackets that I'm going to use to fix that. Just the job. We've got beds that are covered over, we've got covers that have blown off. And this is the other thing I wanted to show you over this way. This is the onions, and the onions are looking good. These are the Senshu, I think they were called, the Japanese onion sets that again we put out tail end of last year, so they've been out all the way over the winter so far. Same as the garlic, and they're looking absolutely fine and healthy so far. And that's the quick tour of the plot done. I'm going to head all the way over that way. Just to give you some context, let me just spin you around just a little bit. So when I did the video earlier in the week of all the damage that was done, we went all the way over that part of the site and all the way down there, that part of the site, but I ran out of time. I was just up here on my lunch break from work, and what I haven't done is gone over this way. So we're going to go up the path, we're going to have a look over there, and I'm back within a jiffy to show you how it's looking. So I'm off my travels to see what I can see. We're right at the top end of the allotment here. Maybe it's just a little bit of context where we are. It's all farmland all the way over here, all behind the fence over there. Big, massive pile of wood chips. This is where we come to get the wood chips down the end there. We don't come up here very often. Only when we need wood chips do we come up this point. And I should come here more often because there's some beautiful plots along this way. And I'll show you that in just a minute as well. But I can see the carnage that's being caused up here, and there's a couple of things I want to show you. Let me just spin you around a second. There we go. So here's the first thing. We can see this shed, and I mean, it looks like it's in good nick as well, honestly. And it's been absolutely destroyed by the wind. You can see all the stuff still inside there, and somebody's obviously starting to do a lot of work on this plot. You know, stuff's been covered up, starting to make beds, all looking good, ready to get things going in the springtime. And this poor shed over here looks been absolutely mangled. And you can see by the quality of the wood, you know, it's not rotten, it's not an old thing, it's actually pretty decent. Time and effort's been put in, it's got guttering on there for collecting the water, all that sort of stuff. And it's been mangled and trashed. Honestly, it's so annoying. And this, honestly, as for this, look at this over there. That is somebody's, I'm assuming at some point that was a polytunnel, and it's been trashed. Look at it. The frame is all mangled, the cover is done, it is completely burst. We've got archways just broken in midair there over here, and it's an absolute disaster. And we've got more damage just down this way. But honestly, there's a couple of lovely looking plots down here. I just want to show you them on the way past. Look at this one. I love the little archway that they've done there out of what I'm assuming is probably willow along there, and it looks so neat and tidy. And I'm coming into a bit of a zone here, apart from the plot here that's been turned into some sort of prison with a fence. But some of them along here, look, they're dead neat and tidy. Everything is looking wonderful. And I saw this one here, and then I saw this one here, and I thought, look at how nice it is. Then I saw this, look at this, how amazing is this plot here. All the beds have got well-rotted manure on them. It's all neat and tidy, there's no weeds. The beds are perfectly aligned, it's lovely and straight. There's no damage, and it goes on and on. It's a massive plot, and they've obviously seen sense and taken the cover off the polytunnel over there for over the winter for winds like this. But look at it, it's absolutely beautiful. I don't know whose plot this is, but it is wonderful. What a lovely, lovely plot. That's where I want to get to. But let me just come down here and show you this. We've got another mangled shed. It is definitely a theme round here at the moment with the weather and things that's going on. The gates all bust open, burst. You can see the windows have gone in. There's bits of timber everywhere. The door's done. I'm going to try and fasten that up somehow, actually, and cover that up. And looking over here, look at this. I missed this as well. The fence is all down over here. All the archways and stuff over there, they're all down there as well. Anyway, that is me done for today. Thank you for watching, folks, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.